These are the two fabrics I'm going to use to make a bag similar to this one here. This is the only hardware I'm going to be using. Magnets and two zippers, which are 9 inches long. I made my own pattern. I just winged it, so that's going to be the bottom. So I'm seeing the placement kind of how I want this. And I'm going to measure the tops to make sure it's an equal distance from the side on both sides. Also at the bottom. So if it's a couple inches away, I'm going to make sure it's a couple inches away. But I'm winging how I want it to look. And then this, I may cut down a little bit. But for some reason, I wasn't exactly sure how to make the bottom, the length.
No, I'm not giving you tea.
So I decided to cut the vinyl down some. And on the canvas, I'm going to interface it with this. Oops, where is it? Oh, it won't show up. The 950, because I liked it to be a little bit sturdier. Actually, I'm not going to interface this canvas material. I'm going to interface some inside interior cotton, so it has more structure to the inside body, because I'll have an inside pocket in there. Now I'm just measuring up the interior underneath my cutout of my outside, and I'm going to cut around the bag so I have the same shape and size. And if this material is a little bit bigger, that's okay. You can always cut it down. So don't worry about it being perfect. So my pocket piece, I just laid fabric on top of my purse with the interior cut out. And now I'm laying this pocket on top. I'm going to cut across there so it's just a regular rectangle. I'm going to make it go all the way to the ends of the bag. So when I sew it in place, I don't have to sew those ends until I'm putting the bag together. It's one step I can cut out and make sure it's the same width as the bag.
Mom,
This is my interfacing, and I decided just to fold it in half so I don't have to cut it twice, and that way it's the same exact side to connect it to both of my interior pieces. So I folded it in half, which you're going to cut that line later. It doesn't really it's like a paper on top of a paper. I'm going to cut it the same size as my bag and interior, but I'm going to leave about this much, like the width of your pinky, on all sides. So that way it's not as thick to sew through when you're putting the bag together. So the interface that I had folded to trace it, I just cut it down the side. It was just to cut out a step. Anyway, so there's that. I also cut out interface for my pocket, which this will go in between these. And I'll cut all the strings off there. And I'll show you when I start sewing to put everything together, what I'm going to do, and then what it looks like after.